Welcome back to my allotment journey. Today's video is going to be a bit of a cobble together of several different sessions at my allotments and in my garden, and that's partly deliberate because I've really been trying to focus a lot on actually doing the gardening and just filming a bits here and there rather than kind of setting myself the task of filming a whole day's work. And also because my days have been, for one reason or another, interrupted with life, as so often happens, I think, to all of us. So I hope you'll forgive that. There's also a little bit of me having to do a voiceover over some bits because my mics didn't work. But anyway, I think there's lots of stuff going on. I feel like I've been doing a lot and achieving quite a bit. So I'll show you some of that and share my journey with you, which after all is the whole point of this. So a quick greenhouse update. Basically everything's going bananas. There's my beans. There's some more beans over there. Sweet corn. I think, oh no, a couple not germinated, but nearly 100%. Yeah, more beans down there. My squashes are starting to come through. My cup and saucer vine going mad. Cosmos, actually, if you look up there, we've got a cosmos coming into bloom before I've even got it planted out. Tomatoes, there's a lot already at the allotment, waiting to go out, but there's some more there. Yeah, my peppers, my aubergines, even the late tomatoes. They're a little bit leaning over because I've just watered them. But yeah, everything's just looking amazing, and I'm going to have a really busy couple of weeks, in a week or so, planting everything out. And out here in the garden, you can see I've erected 4 little mini greenhouses. Those are going to be housing some of the indoor tomatoes that won't all fit in the greenhouse. So I think that counts enough as indoor. Yeah. So I've put a grow bag. I've put a grow bag in the bottom of each of those, and they're ready and waiting for those tomatoes to go in them. I'll probably put a pot on top of the grow bags to give them that extra bit of growing space. And then walking over here to the old greenhouse, and in here the dahlias are taking over the asylum. Look at that dahlia growth there. Beautiful. And my cuttings, yeah, they're looking happy. My early potatoes going mad. My husband's little mini orange tree is absolutely beautiful in bloom. It smells amazing. So yeah, some of my tubers still haven't put on any growth. There's about 10 of them, I think, that haven't out of about 80. So it's not bad, but when you think you can pay up to £5 for a dahlia corm, not that I always did, but yeah, I'm not very happy with some of those, but they may still come to life. And I will, like this one here, I will pop them into better pots and see if they come on. So those, I think also, yeah, I come to think of it, I said I wouldn't take any more cuttings, but I think when I put out a tuber, let me find a good example. I was looking at some just now and now I can't see. Yeah, well anyway, here's a good example. So you can't see because of the leaf. This plant here has got like some very clearly differentiated stems, and I'll cut those when I'm putting them out. So I'll cut those into 2 or 3, and that will create the different number of plants, and that will make up for some of the planned numbers that I had that haven't come up. Like this one here. Why has that not come up? Who knows? You might like to take a look at our laburnum tree. Look at that, beautiful colour, and it's absolutely humming with bees. I can see just stood here 5 or 6 of them, but there's even more than that. So that's looking beautiful. Got a large fuchsia bush here, which is also coming into bloom, or has come into bloom. I always think they look like ballet dancers. Look at them. So pretty. The snapdragons that have come into bloom, these are all self-seeded from last year. Absolutely lovely. This cute little corner here, some aquilegia that's self-seeded, some wallflowers, and some remnants of the blueberries. No, the bluebells, not the blueberries. So I just have to show you how amazingly my broad beans are doing on John's plot. They're absolutely massive. They are the tallest broad beans on the whole allotment site, as John keeps proudly telling me, and he says he keeps pretending they're his, which is fair enough. I mean, look at this one. This one here, look, that's where it's up to. And they actually smell amazing too. Oh, it's brilliant. I'm so excited. I'm going to have so many broad beans I won't know what to do with them. I was just getting something from my shed, and I noticed something that looked a bit old and tatty in the corner, and went and explored, and it's actually, you believe this or not, a dahlia tuber. A dahlia tuber that I have just left and forgotten about and thought was dead. But look! It's alive, it's got a little shoot on it. Dahlias everywhere. Gonna have to find somewhere to put it up now. So I'm here today at my Riverside allotment, which I have to confess I haven't been tending as much as the other ones. I mean, for a start, I've got 3.5 other ones at the other side. I'll tell you a bit more about it all at some point. And here I've just got the one. Plus, there's not so much that I can so many different crops that I can grow here, because it does have a rat and rabbit problem. So I have to think carefully about what I grow. But I've come today and it is absolutely, I can't believe how much growth there's been in things and how overgrown it looks. I think we've got an allotment meeting next week, and I'm slightly concerned I'm going to get a telling off because it's quite strict here. We don't have anything like that at the other site, so I probably better get some work done today. But before I do, I'll just give you a quick look round. And bear in mind, it was only 2 or 3 weeks ago that I gave it a really good tidy up. Here we are today. So first, look at my giant comfrey. I mean, that's quite a large wheelbarrow there, and my comfrey has just gone absolutely mad. Now there is this lovely apple tree, which I've never seen so much blossom on. It isn't mine, but I can have the apples that come over this side from it. It's in a community allotment. Some garlic mustard has just sprung up there. I've got a couple of broad bean plants, stray broad bean plants that I left in my herb bed. My herb bed, everything seems pretty alive, although I could probably do with watering it, and the parsley's in danger of taking over everything. But yeah, the plants I put in are doing well. After I filmed last time, I also sowed some clary something or other. I think it's, I want to say sage, but I'm not sure that's actually what it was called there. Clary clarissima. It probably is a sage type thing. And it looks like those seeds are coming up. Yeah, as I say, the parsley's gone mad. And then look at the forget-me-nots. Beautiful. Just sprung up from nowhere. My oregano was actually spread somehow, must have been through the flower seeds, to that side of the bed there as well. I'm not going to complain about that because it's a bit of a wasted space otherwise. I've got some currants on my currant bush. It's actually alive. So that's good. On that one anyway. That one's looking a little bit more sorry for itself. My rhubarb, I'm going to have to pull that flower off. I did cut one off last time I was here. But yeah, there's still plenty of rhubarb to go around. I could do with putting some gloves on and weeding out those raspberries and getting those stingers out of there, that's for sure. The willow arch is looking really quite pretty actually. Yeah. With lots of flowers on it, in fact. Let's have a look at the willow. Oh, look at this. Look how fluffy that is. The sweet peas that I put in, well, they always have a really rocky start, don't they? I find anyway. But they're still alive, so that's okay. Some stray raspberries coming up in my metal beds here. They need to come out. I don't want raspberries there. And quite a few different weeds in that bed there. And there. And there. And then I've got some lovely looking spring onions there, which I think I might actually take home with me. The garlic's got rust, but then that happens every year, and I'm not going to worry too much about that. Potatoes have come through and don't seem to have been bothered by the very cold nights we've had lately. There's the blueberry bush with some lovely flowers on it, and flowers also on the strawberries. So I'm going to have to net them before too long. The artichoke bed has just gone completely wild. Now let's have a look at what is supposed to be the asparagus bed. Oh dear. Well, there's a little bit of asparagus there. There's an awful lot of other things. That's a bit of asparagus there. Oh, there's a big asparagus that's gone tall. Yeah, and another one there. There's the odd few. So I need to give that a weed. So that's okay. At least I've got some asparagus life there. But look at my onion beds. Dear me. I can barely see the onions for all the little wildflowers that have come up. I'm not sure what they are, those tiny little flowers. Yeah. And then this is my woodland patch. So yeah, the trees are looking quite healthy, and I've got lots of shrubs that are coming to life. So that's a peony there that's coming to life. But look at this, that's just sprung up since last time I was here. Isn't it lovely? That anemone's on its way out, but it's still got lots of blooms on it. And my rose that I planted last year is looking healthy, and the rose that I planted this year is alive, so that's great. So yeah, let's have a look. It's looking very pretty, but I bet I get a ticking off for it being overgrown. Oh well. I've brought with me some celeriac and celery to put out. I just thought I really ought to plant something out, so let's have a look. There, next to my tripod, which I haven't obviously used yet. The other thing is, the other day I bought some long bean poles, and I'm going to put up my structure, I think, ready for when I do my broad beans. At least it'll look like I'm doing something then. Right, better crack on. So I'm quite pleased with my bean frame. I started it off with the bamboo, and then I've put in between it some bits of the willow from my arch that I cut down earlier in the year. One of them has already flopped, but I'll sort that out next time. But yeah, I think that's going to make a nice structure to grow beans up later in the year. Well, not long now actually. So super job. So it looked like it was just about to rain, and I've just got myself in the right muddle because I'm kind of rushing to have to leave soon, and so I thought I'd plant out some of the celery and celeriac that I brought with me, and I merrily started putting a few into a bed, which is there. And then I remembered that I decided that wasn't going to be the celery and celeriac bed, that was going to be the dwarf bean bed. And it was already splitting by this point, and I thought, oh, I'm just going to leave them. I've probably got more than I need anyway. I'll just leave them and they can grow around the beans. And then I've put some more higgledy-piggledy into this bed here, which is actually where I think they were last year. But never mind, we'll see how they get on. So it's another lovely day at the allotment here, and I've just been watering my main plot at the Townside allotments. Things are looking a lot happier for that, apart perhaps from my pre-star cabbage, which is currently under some fleece because it was suffering from the cold, and I think I need to replace that fleece with some form of netting, but I might not do that today. I've got some other plans to do today, and they are kind of expansionist plans. Why are you expanding, you may ask? That is a good question, but I am not one to let part of my plot go to waste, and I have discovered that a piece of my plot at the bottom of my shed plot, I'm just going to take some compost down and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So here we are. I'm right at the bottom of my shed plot. Let me try and so there's the shed at the top there. Rhubarb, lots of grass by the looks of it, which is hiding some strawberries and the fruit bushes and so on. But this area here, where I've now put some cardboard down and soil, I'd kind of thought that the plot ended, I don't know why, with the strawberries and the gooseberry bush there. But it obviously doesn't. And I think it was when the paths were cut back, I realised that actually, if you follow the line from my compost bins, there's a whole other bed worth of space. Yay! Oh, I've got so many things to plant out. Any space like this is wonderful. So, what I've done is put some cardboard down, obviously. But up there, a lot of work is being done on an accessible path up through a community orchard at the side of the allotments, which annoyingly means that the lane, which kind of runs down that fence that I usually access the allotments from, is closed, and I'm having to access the allotments from a car park up there, which doesn't look too far away, and it doesn't look too steep a hill, but it really is when you're wheeling compost, so that's quite annoying. Anyway, a good thing that's come out of that work is that they did deliver to us a whole load of topsoil, and we've all been helping ourselves in various ways, and I've brought 3 barrows of it down to start off this bed. I probably could have got some more, but it is so heavy and I don't want to overdo it. So I've also brought some not quite so heavy but cheap compost to start this bed off. My aim is to not to use like really good compost and just spread it all about, but in fact put little pockets of good compost in with the seedlings when I plant them, so it's just surrounding those seedlings. Otherwise the rest of the soil and the compost, it can be, a mishmash of just ordinary stuff. No point wasting good compost by just spreading it everywhere. So that is the plan. So I'm going to now put this compost on the bed. So there we have it, a very non-neat but very usable fresh bed. And I think I'll be probably growing a couple of pumpkin plants in that when the time comes, which is not long now. And just to almost please those who like their beds a little bit neater, I found almost enough wood to lying around the plot to surround it. Yeah, I think it does look a bit better that way. It'll contain it till it's settled in. Job done. couldn't find a little bit to fit that. I have just sat down at the top of my shed plot and looked down to my side. A piece of wood, just the right size. How did that get there? Would you look at that? Whoa. Let's put a bit of compost here. Put that under the wood. Whoa, look at that bed. Could it be better? I think not. Brilliant. So I've nipped back to the plot on a wet and rainy Friday afternoon to collect some rhubarb for my in-laws, and I'm really pleased with this lovely collection of pink rhubarb. It looks so bright and healthy and lovely. If only I liked rhubarb. And I'm going to put the rhubarb leaves, which I've cut off, I'm going to lay them for nutrition and mulching on top of my new bed. So there we go. Looks kind of random. I almost feel I should pick the rest of the rhubarb to cover the rest of it, but I don't think my in-laws could eat quite so much at once. Anyway, off I go, and hopefully back here tomorrow for a nice day's gardening. So at this point my mic cut out, and I wanted to show you the tomatoes I have that I've brought down to the allotment into this Aldi greenhouse. And they're doing really well, really good purchase there. They're just sitting here waiting to go out in the main plot when the weather is right, a little bit hotter. And here are my carrots. They're doing really nicely. I've actually managed to sow them, I think, not too thickly. So I'm really pleased with that. And then I mentioned earlier about my cabbage bed. This has been covered with some fleece to keep it warm when the little seedlings first went in. But I decided that it was time to remove this fleece because it's not letting them grow properly, and to find some netting to go over them. And then I remembered that I have that framed netting that just sits over one of the beds at the shed plot. So I carried it over to my main plot and was about to put it on when I realised, of course, how many weeds there were in the cabbage bed. So I then set out to deal with those weeds. And before I did, I noticed this beautiful little butterfly flitting about in the grass next to the plot. So having done that, a quick peek at my potatoes, which are growing up nicely on John's plot. The first earlies have come through really well, the second earlies also on their way, and the main's just peeping through. So back to work, and this is the bed that I took the covers off to put onto the cabbages, and that needs some serious weeding. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of my allotment journey. This actually marks a year since I've hosted my first video on YouTube, and goodness, that's gone really quickly in some ways. In other ways, it feels like I've been doing it forever. I set out on my allotment journey, my YouTube allotment journey anyway, just for a bit of fun really, and I actually didn't realise there were so many other allotment videos out there. But you know, the wonderful thing about that is that I have made so many friends and had such a lovely enriched life because of this lovely allotment and gardening YouTube community. And I would like to thank each of you, those of you, my regulars, who comment on every video. I'm really grateful. It's always lovely to hear from you. People like Ali and Stella and Jenny, and so many to mention. No, if I carry on, I'm just going to miss people out. I also want to say a special hello to those members of my family who watch my videos. Some of my family don't watch my videos, but they're not going to see this message, are they? But some very special family members do. And I'm talking about Lorraine and Andrew, Bethy and Matt, and Jackie and Jess. Love you very much, and thank you for watching my videos. So yeah, I really do want to thank you for joining me, for watching me get up to things on my allotment and in my garden. I do hope that you enjoy it as much as I do, or even just a bit as much as I do. So for now, I shall say goodbye and thank you, and I hope to see you again soon. In the meantime, happy gardening. Bye bye.